You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break of dawn. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Yo,
Hey.
what's up, man? Welcome to the show. It's the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 4, Episode 13. My good God. I'm Joe Red, and we're here with Figsy. You're getting it.
Hey, what's up, bro? Welcome in. This is Friday the 13th for me.
Oh, shit, man. Yeah, no, we had that a little while ago. No, about on the 13th.
Not the date the 13th, but 13th show on a Friday.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm like, is the days that different in Australia? You guys in another fucking week?
Like it's the 20th here. How's it the 13th over there?
Man, you guys are way behind. Catch up. Damn.
You don't count leap years or something?
You're gonna be way behind. We're like super late. Sorry about that. Waiting for the guest, and apparently they're running late. And
I also woke up 10 minutes before the show, so
yeah, that's also happens as well.
a game I wanted to play dropped at midnight last night. I mean, it is what it is, right?
You're not the only one. A few people I know have been staying up wicked late. But yeah, what game was that?
Well, if you know me, you won't be surprised. It was the new FIFA game, and people probably rolled their eyes as soon as I say that. But I'm a Chelsea supporter, and my team buy and sell like 15 players a year. So for me, it feels like a new game, completely new squad. I'm having fun. Last FIFA, I put in like 300 hours, so I'll get my money out of it. You know,
That's cool. Yeah, man.
and I bought it digitally, like last year's version, because I don't want FIFA games in my collection down the line. Like, unless they're rare club variants, in 10 years, it's going to be a $1 game. And, you know, that's not the type of game I want in my collection. If it was a new RPG or, you know, Elden Ring or something, I would have pre-ordered, bought the physical. But I'm like, no, it's a game where I literally don't care about a physical copy. So I got the digital version. And I got a discount on the PlayStation Store, funnily enough.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, those types of games are like riddled with microtransactions and stuff usually, so you might as well get the digital copy anyway, as far as I'm concerned. Tons of DLC is going to come out for it. Like, can't you get like players? Is that the game that has like wait, is it Football Club or FIFA, or is it called?
Yeah, I don't play any of the I'm a straight career mode only player. Like, I don't touch the online player. I'll play offline with friends. I won't do any of the microtransactions. But yeah, Ultimate Team is huge. There's a lot of money in it. And
all right. I'm just saying, like, it's like fighting games nowadays. Like, buying them physically is like, what the fuck's the point? You have to download 35 characters, so why bother?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy that a lot of games are becoming like that, though. And it's not the games we're collecting; it's the AAA titles, the mainstream games. You know, the big games. They just aren't on discs anymore. Look at Space Marine 2. You know, it's not on the disc. Still selling like hotcakes. People don't care.
I'm not sure of my info on that, but I heard like the regular games on the disc, but the plus mode's not, or something like that. Or like there is I don't know the details. I think there is like a playable version on the disc, but there's still a massive download when you put the disc in. It's like 4 gigs or something like that, right? I don't know if it's the right game I'm thinking of.
Regardless, if you have to download something to play it, that's not the idea of what I want in my collection.
Oh no, that's not what I want in any of my. Yeah, so that's I getting like a actual functional complete version of things is just rare these days. And I keep trying to say this, like I'm tired of being lied to with these physical editions or whatever. It's like I've been into like racing games a lot lately, and I was talking about that Test Drive series, and the new Test Drive just came out, Solar Crown,
It's online.
and it's online only.
I'm so disappointed when I seen that. I'm like, I seen that, and I'm like, oh, Joe's gonna pick that up. He's picking up all those games.
Yeah.
And I said it was online. I'm like, oh, Joe ain't picking that up.
No, I immediately. Well, no, that's not true. It's not that I won't pick it up. It's just Joey picking it up for full price. And
yeah, you wait till it's $5 on clearance, but it'll probably be taken. The servers will probably be taken down if that's the case. You know.
Mm-hmm. So that game, I don't even think I'm gonna buy it physically. Like, I think I'm just gonna buy it digitally. Like you said, you bought FIFA. Like games like that that require an internet connection. I'm just like, they're not future proof anyway. They're gonna die when they die. I don't care if I'd rather have the digital version, because then at that point I can just delete it off my hard drive and forget it, I guess. Better than having the disc and me staring at it and being irritated. Unless it's Conquered, and then I guess everybody's like showing it off online. Look at my dead disc.
That I find I can't see that being Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in the future.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
There's gonna be too many people who have bought that as an investment compared to the full set collectors who need it for their collections. I guarantee you, all the full set collectors bought it already. You know, guys like Sean and James would have already got their copies of Concord. The only people who the market of your audience is going to be future PS5 full set collectors. And how many of those are really going to be out there? It's not like the N64 or PS2 where there's literally tens of hundreds of people going for full sets. Like, how many people really want a full PS5 set, even PS4? Like, I used to be able to count
full set
people. I know one or two still going for a full PS4 set.
Yo, Marcus in the house. What up, man? How you doing, bro?
Hey, Joe, I just want to touch on something we did mention. Space Marine. The first game is expensive now. It used to be a $5 game, and now it's like $100.
Yeah, it jumped up pretty high. I checked the prices on it today, see if it's come down. It's come down a little since last week.
Check out Aussie prices.
Oh, your Australian prices. I just add $80 Australian to whatever it is.
Well,
here.
Funny to say that when it went up in the US, it was still cheap in Australia. So
on eBay here, they have PAL copies on eBay, brand new, sealed for $60. You can get in America, and then the used ESRB.
It's over $100 here. Fuck it out. I sold the collector's edition last year for less than $100.
Figures. I don't think it's
like 5 variants of the game, so I'm not worried. That's $500 where previously it was a $25 worth of games.
I don't know if this one will have, like, it'll stay high. I don't think it'll stay that high though. I think it'll.
No, I don't see it having longevity. I'll see it being a $50 game in the future, because it used to be $5. Like, it was a shovelware, you know. PS3 games $1 each. It was one of the games that you see in piles.
Yeah, there's a million Warhammer games like that. There's so many games that are cheap on PS4 and PS. I think there's a few on the PS3 too. Could be wrong, but they've never been like usually like $high games. But yeah, the interest in the new game drove the old one up quite a bit. I thought that was fascinating.
It's crazy what modern gaming can do. It's just like there's that many people out there playing games that regardless of what comes out, if it's a sequel to something, the previous one's going to blow up because of how many people are gaming these days.
Yep. Yeah, and it's also like, it's weird. I feel like we live in two realities. There's a reality where there's just too many games and I don't have enough time to play them all, and then there's like a reality for people where they say there's no games to play, and I'm just like, I live in the reality where there's too many. But
I am playing so many games right now, and when I was installing FIFA, I had to delete games off my PlayStation. And the way I delete games is I delete things that I haven't finished yet. So if it's on my PlayStation, I'm returning to it. And I'm looking at all these games. I'm like, I need to finish that. I need to finish this. I need to finish that. I still need to play this. And I'm like, I've just got so much choice right now. It's insane. And like, I wanted to play something on my computer last night, but I had FIFA coming out at midnight. And I'm still grinding GeoGuessr. And it's like, I want to play this. And I'll touch on something else. Me and both Joe both purchased a digital game this week, and we are both loving it. And that game is
it's
it is
Core
Core
Keeper.
Keeper.
Yeah, I'm totally addicted to it.
We are both addicted to it. I think this is the first time since we started the podcast that we're both playing the same game.
Yeah, at the same time. That's true.
So if you guys haven't heard of it, it's like Stardew Valley had a baby with Terraria, and this is the baby.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Really good.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of that, and then it also reminds me of Minecraft, and it also reminds me of Dragon Quest Builders.
Dragon Quest Builders, yeah.
Yeah, like that's one of the things I like is I was obsessed with the idea in Dragon Quest Builders that you could, if you wanted to in that game, you could literally take apart the entire game block by block and reassemble it. However, you could take the entire game and put it back in one place and rebuild it if you felt like it, if you had the time or the energy. And I spent so many hours building stuff in that game, just wasting time and being crazy and doing stuff. And this game kind of takes me to that same place. And like it's so funny because this guy joins my stream today when I was playing it, and he's just like, "Yo, why is your base so big and you haven't even unlocked the core yet?" And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! This is what I do, bro. I'm building. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit for 4 hours and just like move walls around and do this and do that and do that and just play. And like I'm in no rush. Like I like the whole point of those sandbox games is to chill and to like build stuff and have fun and try stuff out.
I spent like 2 hours making a farm. You should see the size of my cattle farm on my base, because I dug up, because to replace the squares you have to dig them up, and make the water and then put the new ones in. So I had to do every row by row, and I've got like a 20 by 20 square fucking base. It literally took me like an hour and a half, and then I had to go get all the cattle from all around the map and name them all and build all the trees and make it look like it's meant to be there.
Dude, it's so fun. That was hilarious yesterday when I was playing, and you were like, "Oh, let me see your base." And I built like these like murder rooms, I call them, basically. So you can, in that game, you can get certain types of flooring, and it will spawn monsters. It'll attract monsters. So you put the flooring encased in like a room, and then the monsters will spawn in the room, and they're trapped. And at first, like when I did it, like I was just doing that because I just thought it would be a cool idea to have like pet monsters. I didn't know what to do with them or anything. And so like right away I was like, let me show you my base. And I walk over right next to my farm where the prison is. And this giant dude with the club just goes, breaks down the wall. All the monsters escape. They break down the fence. They start murdering. All of my animals are getting slaughtered. I was like, no, what's going on? And the worst part of it is like 2 seconds before that, I was all excited because my little fuzzy cows had babies, and I had little baby cows. I'm like, look a little cute baby.
Doing the base tour, he's just like, everyone's dying.
Yeah, and in like 10 seconds, all of them got murdered. All the babies were shredded. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm the worst.
That teaches you for keeping prisoners tortured.
This is why I don't have like a goldfish or nothing. I don't know, man. Like
we got good news.
What?
Core Keeper is now officially released as 1.0, and it's getting a physical PS4, PS5, and Switch copy 23rd of October. Is it the 23rd?
Yeah, it's definitely coming up at the end of October. I don't know the exact date, but it's got a PS4 copy too. Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. That's what I like to hear. PS4 never die, won't stop. Can't give it up.
It's already available digitally on the consoles as well, which is cool.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's addicting. I don't know if it's everybody's cup of tea, but I like it.
I think this will be a very when people talk about these type of games, Stardew pops up as like you have to play Stardew, blah blah blah. I think this in the future will be like one of the games that you have to play Core Keeper. Like it's the only thing I can see that would let it down is the graphics. Because when I first started, I'm like, what is this 8-bit shit?
Yeah.
And then I'm like 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh, that's this item, blah blah blah. Just ignored the graphics, and it just looks like an amazing game. But when I first started playing,
Mhm.
You know, you look at some of the items you pick up and you're like, what the fuck is that? It just looks like colors.
It's true. Yeah, I can definitely see that as an issue. Like a lot of the times when the stuff's like on the ground and you have to like before you can like decide to pick it up, it's like wicked tiny, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Is that a hat? Is that a boot? Is that a
Yeah, what the
skill?
fiber
What is
looks
it?
like or something is weird. And
Yeah. But overall, the
but the
game's
gameplay
amazing.
is, oh my god, it is so good. The
Mm,
fighting mechanics in that game is, yeah, it's insane, man.
hmm
I can see the future that having a big like boss rush speed run type thing.
mm,
Like, you know, fastest to start the game, beat all the bosses, or, you know, fastest to go to a certain point or do certain things, especially with the random generated seeds.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
it'll always be, oh, I just have to get that perfect seed and I'll be able to do it. And like you
Mm,
were saying, you had a shit wand. I unlocked this wand that was like 200 damage, and I've just been walking around destroying every single monster with this wand. Apart from the bosses, I haven't found a single monster that's given me challenge. I've like almost unlocked the full edge of the map, which I
nice.
don't know is the edge, because you go to the edge and you can see past the edge. But yeah,
It's
we'll
not
get
the
to that.
edge. So yeah, I just beat the. This is going to be a core keeper episode now, guys. So we don't have a guest. So congratulations.
We're both playing the same game. Sorry, guys.
So I beat the first. I unlocked the core by beating the first 3 bosses, and when you do that, you can take down the outer wall, and then there's
Ooh.
biomes beyond the wall, and
Okay, that makes sense.
it's super crazy. Yeah,
That makes sense, because I got to the edge and I'm like, why is it so small? This doesn't make any sense. And I hadn't found the red stone. The only way I was able to get one of them was recycling really good gear that I had duplicates of.
yeah, that's for the scarlet bars.
Yeah, the scarlet one. That's it.
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of embarrassing, but after you unlock the thing to take down the wall, it says, go put your hand on the wall. That's what it says. Go put your hand on the wall to make the wall go away. All right. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And I go up to the wall and I'm like thinking there's gonna be like a Total Recall where like the handprint is or something, you know, like something you gotta like something that indicates you need to put your hand there. And so I'm just running around, nothing. And then every once in a while the thing would just say like, hey, you should put your hand on the wall. And I'm like, all right, fine. And so I went up and hit the wall and nothing happens. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? And so then I'm like, oh, maybe it's because I'm holding an item, you know, like maybe it just needs to be in my hand. So I like took the thing out of my hand and I'm smacking the wall and nothing's happening. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm just running along. I couldn't figure it out. And I'm just like losing my mind. It took me like 5 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then finally I'm just like, what are you supposed to just interact? Are you supposed to hit E, you know, like interact with it? And I just go boop, and it just goes, the whole wall just goes away. I'm like, oh my God.
Funny part is,
I'm so
when
dumb.
you get an option to press E, it comes up on the screen. So it would have been on your screen.
No, I didn't see no.
It would have been there the whole time.
Maybe
because I knew when I first built a chest, I kept destroying the chests. I'm like, how the fuck do you use these chests? Can't put anything in them. I'm using both buttons on the mouse. It won't work. Yeah. And I looked at the screen and it says E. Oh.
Yeah. It was just that's the thing about streaming games. Like you have to have a certain amount of bravery, because like I'm just gonna look so dumb sometimes no matter what I do. I'll be crushing the game, and then all of a sudden I'll get stuck on the dumbest thing for like 5-10 minutes and just be like wicked embarrassed, like, oh no.
I woke up the other day and my friend was streaming to like 150 viewers, and she taught me into streaming so she could go to bed. So I was like 30 minutes into waking up to like 150 viewers and having to entertain them. I just played Jackcaster for like 3 hours until someone else got on and raided them. Didn't want to lose the big raid.
Pretty sick.
Because, you know, if you end the stream, all the viewers go where I wanted to like send the raid to one of my friends.
Yeah, that's very cool. So how's the GeoGuessr life been treating you? You doing well?
Yeah, GeoGuessr has been good. So I wasn't here last week, right? I don't know what Joe told you guys, all lies, whatever it was. Someone
I didn't make up no
okay.
funny stories. I just said
like,
family visit. Friends coming over, didn't I? Did I make up a story? I don't think I did.
So I had a buddy come down from my old town, and he's not a massive Gearguesser fan, but he used to watch it. And we watched the World Cup was on last weekend, so we watched the World Cup, and we went to the footy in Melbourne and watched his team play, and then watched the grand finals of the World Cup. And yeah, it was absolutely insane. The final game was like scripted. It was that good. It was like you couldn't have scripted it better. It was insane. So
Nice.
yeah, let's go. My sleeping schedule's been like clearly flipped on its roof and trying to get back into it again. But we are back. Lots of really cool pickups too this week. So
cool. Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah.
And I put some in the mail for you. So you got some.
Yeah, I put some in the mail for you too. We both posted mail yesterday, guys. So it's a race. Whose mail service is quicker? We're actually using each other's because like it's like whose is quicker? Is it the one who sends it or receives it? Because you got to rely on Australia getting your mail out, and I got to rely on the US, but then it's vice versa in the delivery side of things.
Yeah, let's see which customs are worse and screw with it. I have to do a customs declaration.
You get it first, but it's all been opened and shit. And it's like, oh.
Well, when it says what's in there, I wrote mysterious white powder, so I hope it should make it through. I'm just kidding.
Great. I put PS3 game for your Switch one, so let's hope they don't open it. There's no option to put Nintendo games on Nintendo Switch, but you can put PS3 games in. So
really,
yeah,
that's weird. Why would they even? Why did
if you're an eBay seller in Australia, you know.
Why would they even want to specify? Ridiculous.
I don't. You have to put in the item for like some items aren't allowed, so everything has to go be classified under a category.
Yeah, for us, it's just like no batteries, no explosives for some reason, I guess. I don't know. There's like no food, drink, or water, something like that. You can't have all that shit. They're weird about that sort of stuff.
Which is funny. Like I've had a package sent and someone put food in it, and that's one of the only ones that's been opened and like pulled apart because there was food in there.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know what the hell, why they care so much. Like, I never knew why is peanut butter from over here, like, not all right to bring over here or something. I don't understand. I don't get it at all.
But 2 weeks ago, I made a joke on this show saying the only way people are going to buy the new PS5 Pro is if they do a 30th anniversary. Is Sony listening to this podcast or something?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I mean, it's not like too crazy that they were going to do this. But in case you guys hadn't heard, I'm sure everybody here who's watched this show has heard, Sony has decided to do the 30th anniversary of PlayStation consoles and controllers and a portal, which is kind of interesting. I thought that was the neatest part of the announcement, honestly, that they were going to do a PS1 themed portal. Although at the same time, it's like, how are you going to be nostalgic for the portal, bro? Like, there was no PS1 portal, you know what I mean? But like, I get it.
Are you going to get one?
Well, I mean, so it's funny because last week when I talked about it, I was like I said, I wasn't like totally like no way I'm ever gonna get one, but I was just I was not hot on the idea of picking one up at launch for the PS Pro at all. I was thinking maybe getting like a price drop or even just chilling and getting the PS6 when that comes out. Like, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it as much. This is, giving me a little more reason to want one for sure. Like, this is way cooler for sure. But let's just be real. Just because I want one, it doesn't even mean I can get one of these damn things. They're only making...
But that was going to be the next thing. Like, yeah. I was going to say that I was looking into how you get it. It hasn't been announced which retailers are going to have them. But I was assuming if it's EB Games, they will like release it to their level 5 members, which I'm not one, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, like, even if I wanted one, the only option to get one is probably going to be like the secondhand market anyway. I think I will try and buy it from retail. Try. If I can't, that's it. Sorry. Yeah. If you get it for retail price, sweet. If I don't, I'll pass the ship on it. But I won't open it. I'll just leave it sealed if I do get one.
Yeah, that's fair. So I don't know. So they said they're going to be available on PlayStation Direct, anywhere that is available. That's the only place you'll be able to get them. if you're in a country that doesn't have access to PlayStation Direct, then like you said, they're gonna be select retailers that have them. The orders go up on the 26th, I believe, September 26th. So you get about a week before they go live. And we haven't had a price announced yet either.
Well, are they going to be more than the Pro? Like,
oh yeah,
Pro's already fucking absurd. Like, seriously,
it's definitely.
Do I really want to spend that much on this shit? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that it won't be more than the $699 because here's the Pro bundle. So it comes with the 2 terabyte
SSD. It's like $1,300 in this country.
Yeah, so it comes with the regular console, and it comes with the stand. Oh my god, how generous of them! You don't
and the plate for the
the
disc, which is
yeah. So then
it doesn't come with the disc tray, right?
Correct. So it comes with the correct color plate, which was immediately my immediate reaction when I heard this announced, and I watched the vid because they did a video presentation, and in the video they did not mention this plate piece at all. So I was just like, what the fuck? So I'm gonna have a big white plate sticking out of it. I was like so mad. I'm like, no way. But then I saw that they included this, so that's cool at least. But again, this is included, so that costs extra money. And then also it comes with wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong.
A PlayStation paperclip? Oh my god.
It comes with a DualSense controller and a DualSense Edge controller. So it comes with 2 controllers, the regular 30th anniversary one and the really fancy.
Cool. Yeah, it will be more expensive.
Oh, fuck yeah. And it comes with a charging station.
It's going to be a big box, dude.
And the vertical stand. So, and then these special collectors items.
4 PlayStation cable ties. No, they didn't put that on there.
Yeah, they did.
You put on the cable ties. Are you fucking kidding me? What about the plastic that's wrapped up for the console? Is that going to be PlayStation fucking painted as well?
Do they have pictures of the cables on here? I don't think they have them on this website. So what's kind of neat is the cable, the charging cable that comes with it. It's a USB-C, right? But at the end of it, it looks like a PS1 connection. So it's like a PS1 connection, and then USB-C sticks out. So that's kind of neat. So it looked like a PS1 connector. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, that's cool. Like for the USB or USB-C port.
So they're making, like I said, for the Pro console bundle only, they're making 12,300 of them, and then it also each one is going to include a poster. It's one of 30 possible designs. So this in and of itself could be like a collectible thing right there of people just selling the posters online and trying to get all 30 posters, because that's cool. Having all 30 of the PlayStation posters from the 30th anniversary release would be pretty rad, dude.
And especially if they are numbered or something like that.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, that would be cool. But then not cool, because then everybody will want number 1, whatever it is. But either way, I think that's neat. So, I expect our full set collector friends that we know to immediately go out and have to get all 30 posters. Just you have no excuse.
30 sealed consoles to have them
right now. Yeah, like you got to get both. And then a PlayStation paperclip, which is the funniest fucking thing. Like, what is that? I don't even come on, man. A paperclip. Get out of here.
That's just like you need to put 5 things down. Well, they got 4. We'll make something else up.
It is pretty though. Look at that. I like the controller.
Yeah, I think if I miss out on the console, I'll try and get one of the controllers because they're really nice.
So that is one thing I confirmed as well, like that everything is available separately. So you do not have to buy the bundle to get the controllers. They're going to sell the regular controller separately. They're going to sell the DualSense Edge, the fancy one, separately as well. They're also doing the Portal, which is looking freaking fire, dude. Like that looks so good. Again, this is a standalone thing. This is not included in any of the bundles. So if you want this, you're going to just have to purchase it separately. This right here, honestly, is like the most appealing thing, I think. I really want this badly. Now, as far as I know about limited quantities, like I said, the Pro bundle, they said there's going to be 12,300 of them. I don't know. I haven't confirmed. Maybe somebody knows if they're going to limit the disc bundles. Like, are they going to have more than that? Are they going to do? Because I didn't see them say anything about numbering the disc, the Slim. I'm sorry, not the disc, the Slim consoles. I don't think those are going to be as limited. So maybe you'll be able to get that in larger quantities if you don't want the Pro. I guess if you like, because I mean that would be cool to have, even if you don't have the Pro. But again, let's just see how much it costs, and then I really like
the two controllers that they've released.
Yeah, there's the regular one, and then the Edge.
Ah, okay. So you get both of them if you get the bundle. Interesting.
If you get the Pro bundle, you get both of them. If you get
that bundle's going to be a fortune, dude. It's going to be like $1,600 in this country.
So if you get just the Slim one, not the Pro, it just comes with the console, a 1 terabyte SSD, DualSense wireless controller, and that's it. It doesn't in the stand and in the paperclip and all that crap. You don't get the extra controller with this bundle. So the Pro
is
one,
that bundle limited to a certain number, or are they all limited to 1,200? Is that how it's working?
Well, there's going to be 12,300 of these, and then they're all numbered, by the way. They're going to have like engraved numbers on them. They said.
Nice.
Oh, here we go. There's the pictures of there's the paperclip, dude. There's a little sticker.
There's the cable ties.
Yeah, and then this is the charging cable I was talking about. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah. Oh, I also really like the so this is a picture of the charging stand all the way on the right there. And I actually really like the bag that comes with the Edge.
I wish they didn't number them. I wish they just did open pre-orders. And I mean, they can't, because then you got scalpers who are going to do it. But like, the way Limited Run do their pre-orders, at least you don't miss out these days. If you want something, you get it.
I'm pretty sure they said they would be numbered, and they have these like little, like I don't know if you can see it very well, but in the middle through the 3 lines, you see where it says 30th anniversary. Yeah, a little white thing. Then they have that on the bottom. And then I don't know. I'm pretty sure they did say they were going to be numbered. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why I would make that up. Oh, also too, did you see like on the controllers, like they have like the little symbols and stuff?
Yeah, that's nice. Excellent.
I'm not sure. Oh, look at the portal, dude. God damn, I want the portal. That is fucking sick looking, bro.
Man, the portal doesn't do anything for me.
Well, good. Don't buy it. Nobody buy it. And then I did really like this. Did you guys see?
Oh, that box is pretty.
Yeah, dude. It looks like the PS1 box for all of it. It's PlayStation 1 themed. And then I don't know what this is. Is this like a protecting? What is this white box? Oh, is that the Pro one? Yeah, that must be the Pro one. Box. So the Pro one's just a white box? That's kind of lame.
I want the Slim if that's the case.
Yeah, like that's.
I'm not going to open it. I'm literally just going to be looking at that box.
Why would they make all these sexy looking boxes and then
I feel like they just haven't designed it yet? Surely that's not what it's actually going to be.
TBD. They didn't have time. Maybe this wasn't even going to exist. They decided, what they probably did is they were just gonna. This was probably gonna be the whole 30th anniversary thing, and then the Pro got announced, and they realized everyone was like, "Fuck that shit." And they were like, "Oh no, let's make a Pro bundle. We gotta make a 30th anniversary."
Well, some of those Pros out that they didn't pre-order and make them 30th anniversary months.
Well, I mean, it's from a marketing standpoint, that was the right decision, dude. Because like the hype was not. They had anti-hype. They had some people, so it's gonna sell either way, regardless of what the people say they're hyped online. But I was worried that. Anyway. I think this is going to definitely convince more people to get it. But again, there's only 12,300. And, all these people who I see all these people are like, oh, yeah, day one purchase. Definitely getting one of these. Can't wait. Oh, yeah, I changed my mind. Totally getting one of the I'm pro now. And I'm just like, yeah, good luck getting one.
I'm not buying it as a system to play. I would be buying it for the collection. Looking at what happened to the 25th anniversary console and different things like that, I regret not buying that day one, because look at the price of it today,
Yeah, they're insanely expensive. I still have a bunch of control, not a bunch. I have 2 of the controllers, and then this guy I work with recently said that he has a boxed controller. Like he opened it, but he never used the controller. But it's not sealed, but it's still like brand new in the box. He just opened it to like look at it because he's not a
All
collector.
right, you just lost $100. So.
Well, no, he said that he was going to sell it to me, and he's like, I'll sell it to you for $40. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, that's what I paid for it. I'll just sell it to you for $40. I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna take him up on that. I'm like, if it's brand new in the box, I'll take it. So I might get a box for the PS4 because those ones are cool. And then I got this crappy one online. This bastard. So I bought one of these. It was pretty cheap, so I ordered it. But that's because the guy put a freaking black back on it.
I remember that. Yeah,
bastard. So anyway, this is my daily driver now. My Frankenstein classic controller, whatever. Front's right. Yeah, that's real. That's all legit. I don't know. Shit's funny.
I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. You know what else is pretty cool? We have a guest.
How's it going?
Hey, welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing, man?
Pleasure to meet you guys. Been listening a little bit to what you guys were chatting about for the 30th anniversary. Is it 30th or 25th?
30th, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately. I wish it was the 20th. I wish it was the 10th, god damn it. 30th. Good Lord. I remember playing PS1 in Radio Shack. All hyped on the hype train for Twisted Metal. Dude, it's been a long time. Can't believe how fucking old I am.
I was still a little kid. I didn't know what a PS1 was until Dad's like, come to the garage. I got something to show you. And it was 1999. And he's like, check this out. And I started playing Oddworld's Odyssey. And I just remember making this little dude fart. And I thought it was the coolest thing as a 6-year-old.
That's what I used to play on Xbox.
Nice, let's go.
Dude, Oddworld had some amazing graphics for PS1. I thought that looked incredible at the time.
Yeah, so good.
Blew me away.
Mason, welcome in, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are.
My name's Mason. I'm 25. Been collecting games for a long time. Probably started just early as a kid, but heavily in probably when I was 15. Started reselling, buying, and kind of gaining my collection through that. And then just ever since been hoarding.
Nice. I love that you started so young. I wish I started reselling at 15 and actually appreciated what I had, because I just got rid of all my games at 17, and by the time I was 20, I wanted them all back again. And
I've certainly sold a lot pre-2020 that I wish I didn't. The prices definitely skyrocketed. Used to work for a store in Gresham called CD Game Exchange for a while, so I'd get a lot of stuff from there too, like trade-ins and stuff that didn't get put out.
Nice.
So I'm surprised to see a youngin say he's been collecting for a long time. What got you into physical media?
I would say some of it's probably just a passion for the actual games and stuff and enjoyment, but also when I was 15, investments were a big thing for me, and physical seems like it's only going up, especially with price charting and watching it.
Oh, you're smart, man.
Stocks on its own.
This is the biggest thing that people I try to emphasize to people who are like, why physical media? It just takes up space down on the disc, blah blah blah. All the crap you hear, the same old. I'm like, dude, everybody talking about how they can't afford a PS5 Pro or it's too expensive right now. I can go over here right now and sell 4 fucking things off this wall and go buy myself a PS5 Pro. Can you go into your Steam library and do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Can you?
That's what I try to tell friends that are. It's not older people. It's people that are 30 and younger. It's just they don't understand that buying that $100 game digitally isn't the same as buying a $100 game physically. Because in 5 years, that's worth nothing. This might be worth $50 still. And if you do it 100 times, that suddenly you've got a lot of money here, and you got nothing on this hand. And who's the one that's going to lose that in the long run?
I think too with that too, there's very nostalgic flipping through old manuals and stuff where you don't get that with digital.
Yeah, I love manuals of books, just reading the backs of the covers and different things like that.
I like the way you guys have your room situated. I have my game room out in the other room, but it's same situation, and I always kind of, to me, it's like my own little game store where I can look through all my games and stuff, and nostalgic factor, especially if other people come over.
This actually isn't my game room. I just ran out of space in there, so this
Oh,
is the
strong.
second room.
So actually, it's funny when my friends come over and I go in there and pick out a game. They're like, no, there's too many fucking things in there. I'm not. I'm just like, it's overwhelming. It's like I can't remember. It's like there's too many choices. People can't like decide. You know what I mean? Like what is it called? Damn it. There's like a phrase for it. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Most people are just like, no. And I also hate, like, I don't know. You guys probably organize your games, maybe.
Alphabetized.
I
moves alphabetically. Everything's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. And so like the other day Reggie was like, "Hey, I want to buy or trade some games for me." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm pretty sure I have 2 copies of this game." And for God's sakes, dude, it took me like 40 minutes to find the freaking thing. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, I'm gonna have to tell this guy I lost this game. I don't even know where it is. Cannot find it. And then finally I found it like stuck in the car. I'm like, oh my God, I have to organize this. It's so bad.
Were they collector's editions or something, or were they just standard games?
Just standard games, friend. Just sometimes
I was watching Sick Cooper the other day, like rearrange his game room, and he found all these like, collector's editions that he like double bought because he couldn't find it in the first place. He's like, now I can sell this one in the shop, and this one, and this one. And it's like, you got collector's editions, and you know they take up so much room, you just forget that you've got doubles and you can't alphabetize them and things like that.
If I get a PS5 Pro, the first thing I'm going to do is go through, and I have probably like 4 or 5 PS4 games that I bought twice on accident, so I can sell those, no problem. I have no reason to keep them. I just keep them as trade bait, but I'm going to actually just sell them. And then for a long time, you guys know that I was always buying the Switch copy and the PS4 copy of games. Like I was just going ham. I was buying like if I liked the game, I was double dipping. Like that's not actually really necessary in the long term. So like I could just go through and just pick out the Switch games that I double dipped, sell on my Switch copies, or vice versa, my PS4 copies. But I'll probably sell my Switch stuff, and then use that to get the Pro, which is what I'm kind of leaning towards if I do it. But like I was saying earlier with the Pro, first of all, I don't know. We don't know how much it's going to cost. The fact that they have not mentioned the price is terrifying. You know what I mean? Like the sticker shock of the Pro at $699, I think people were really mad about that, and I think they're like scared to tell everybody how much this 30th anniversary bundle is going to be. So you got the Pro console with the fancy plates, comes with the stand, comes with the fancy controller, the charging station, and an extra $200 controller on top of it. And the other one was $699.99. So I'm thinking like at least $1,000, at least $1,000. It could be more than that, but I'm thinking it's still going to be at least $1,000 for that bundle. And then even if you want it, even if I can talk myself into it, if I sell some stuff and I get the money together, it's going to sell out in 1 second, and it's going to be hell to try to buy it, like it always is. You ever try to buy, it's going to be just like the Hogwarts controller all over again. I'm still so salty about that. Stupid.
I didn't even hear about that one.
Yeah, so Hogwarts Legacy, they had a special edition PS5 controller come out, and like I was there, you know, I knew about this for weeks. I was ready. I was on time. I had my credit card all punched. I was good to go, and I was one of those things where it was like you put it in your cart, and it's just like spinning wheel, like nothing's happening, and like you don't want to do anything because it's like if you refresh or you go back, you don't want to mess it up because you lose your spot in the queue. You just need it to work, and then it finally lets you through. It's like sold out, it's gone, and it was like gone in like less than 3 minutes or something like that. It was completely sold out, the whole thing, and I was just like, come on, that's just beyond frustrating. It really is. It's so frustrating. I'm like, why do I live in the world like this? Like, just make more of the damn things. For God's sakes. Like, even if you're gonna do it this way, just make more of them, please. So there'll be 12,300 of these PS5 Pros, and that's not a lot. That ain't a lot. I think that they're gonna go very fast. So
That's for the world. They're probably gonna like send 10 to Australia.
that's true. I mean, you guys will have participating retailers or whatever, but who knows how many they're gonna get.
I just know for a fact the only way I'm getting one is like the secondary market, and it's like,
yeah.
I just know it's going to happen. There is no way that it's going to be just like the public can order. It'll be like, and if you are this member, or if you've spent $100,000 with us in the last 12 months.
I don't so let's say it's $1,000 in Australia, it'd be like what, like 1,100 Australian. And then if you bought it on the
prices,
second
we
market,
don't pay tax. Tax is built into the price. So it's usually a little bit more as well.
So I live in this place called New Hampshire. We got no sales tax, and it is beautiful. So I can order anything I want online, and I do not pay any sales tax. And anyone who lives around New Hampshire, who's like a family member, will occasionally contact you and be like, hello, would you mind purchasing this for me and sending it to your house? And I'm like, yeah. Not a problem, because like it's so expensive sometimes. The sales tax will kill you.
That actually makes sense. So because I bought games online to a friend in a different state, and it was more than like other costs when I sent games to you. They were cheap.
You're using you're using my address to send me games. You're getting that. You're getting the New Hampshire benefit right now, dude. You won't.
I didn't realize it, but like, yeah, it's whatever the price is, I pay. But I bought other things, and I'm like, why is this more? And it makes no sense to me. I'm like, did I just tip someone? I don't know.
It's fucking Americans and your tips.
When I was first in America, I tipped the guy at 7-Eleven. I didn't know how it fucking worked. My friend's like, you don't have to tip the guy at 7-Eleven. I'm like, I don't know.
This is the best.
Gave the guy like $10.
Slurpee was so good, though. I mean, that guy, I don't know. He deserved it. That's too funny.
What do you like collecting the most, Joe?
What do I like collecting the most? So, I mean, just from sheer mathematical statistics, apparently it's the PS4. I just have so many more PS4 games than anything else. I kind of think I have to say that, but I think
there are more PS4 games than anything else. So it's like,
yeah. So I really did like collecting for that system, but I still like collecting for the PlayStation 1 the most, for sure. I just love PS1.
Is PS1 most nostalgic for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's the greatest system of all time. Like, I've talked about this a million times, but like I was like thought I was like gonna like grow out of gaming, because like before that it was like the Genesis and like the Super Nintendo and stuff like that, and like those are kind of kidsy, the Sonic and Mario and stuff like that. And I was becoming like a teenager, a young man, growing, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't think chicks are gonna dig me hanging around playing Mario for much longer. Like, I didn't think that would be like a thing that was like, I don't know, it just didn't see myself doing that as an adult. And then the PlayStation came out, and like I was like, what is this, dude? And I was playing Twisted Metal and Legacy of Kain and freaking, you know, Resident Evil and all this crazy stuff, and then I'm like, this is clearly not for children. These are not kids games at all. Like, if you're gonna make stuff like this, I'm in. I'm staying here. I'm gonna keep gaming forever, because I just thought it was so, like, Resident Evil. Like, I don't know, what a life-changing experience that was for me. I was like, I didn't even know games could be this. Like, I just had my concept. I don't know. It's like, imagine like when you like a good comparison is like cartoons. Like, when you were a kid and you watch cartoons, they were all like, for me, like Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny and stuff. Like, they were funny and goofy and silly. And then the first time you saw like an anime where someone was ripping someone's fucking spine out and shoving it up their ass, you were like, well, this isn't what I thought a cartoon was. You know what I mean? Like, this is insane. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like,
or like some South Park stuff. Yeah, definitely more adult themed.
Yes, and it just changed.
I was thinking of The Simpsons when you're talking about this, but you can relate it. So,
I don't know. Like I said, it just changed the way I looked at the art form, at the medium, and I was just like, yeah. So for me, the PlayStation 1 was always gonna have, yeah, I don't know. And there's a lot of other things going for it too. Like, that was when I first started buying my own games. Like, I was working and making my own money, And so like I was super excited to get games because like I would be like saving up for them and researching them and reading magazines and you know what I mean? Like I don't know, that just time period was the best.
I really like some of the old like Nintendo Power magazines. Those are pretty neat. Or like the strategy guides. I'll collect some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Back prior to the internet, when like you'd buy a cheap book for the game, or like I remember games where to beat them, I would go through the book and like
Yeah.
I had 4 books for like Grand Theft Auto Vice City or like Kingdom Hearts and different things like that. That's just there's no internet back then, or if you want to, you like
Do the phone call
you
up
got
for
to
the
unplug
cheap.
the phone, use dial up just to go on. It's like a half an hour venture just to get on one website. It's not worth it. And watching websites load page by page, line by line.
For both of you two, what are some of your prized grails that you have in your collection and some that you're looking for?
Once you've been collecting for like 10 years, it's hard to answer that because some of the grails I bought are expensive still, but some of the cheap games I bought are now thousands of dollars. And yeah, I'd have to literally go on eBay and research everything to pull out like what are the big hitters these days, because there's so many of them that just blown up in price. Recently, like I would say the Pokemon games.
I saw those. Yeah, those are cool. Do you go for any like signature or just signed stuff that's just like unique?
For the PS3, I collected a lot of weird stuff. Like I've like the Australian 3D collection, which is almost you can't put a price on it because
Steve says he's going for all
the
30th anniversary collection.
Going for all 30 posters. Let's go.
I know. I saw you selling Mega Man Legends. Now I know why. You're going for all of it. Does that mean the Pro and the Slim? Good Lord, Steve. Respect.
It'd be cool to get one. I think I'd just be happy with the controller. Like, I just know what it's like in Australia getting this stuff, and it just doesn't happen. So, he reckons $11.99 for the bundle. It's going to be $2,000 in my country.
I think he's right. Like I said, I'm saying 1,000 would be minimum, but I think it could be more. And just
the fact that they're giving you both controllers and everything, like take it as like one controller will be like an extra $150 on the price. Blah blah blah. You know.
And you're gonna pay a premium for those plates and for those controllers. They're like, for
the convenience.
No, for the anniversary edition. Yeah, I just like it's gonna be a lot, but like it's gonna be cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, then I'll have 3 PS5s though, and I feel like I would be a bad human at that point. I feel like
you can't sell your day one edition.
I can't. No, I wouldn't. So what I do is I'd keep 2 on the living room, and I'd bring 1 in here for streaming. Hook up the old.
If let's say Sony do like go full to the max, 1,300 or something crazy. Do you think the scalping market will get much crazier than that?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think they're going to be hard to get. So I think if scalpers get their hands on them and do put them on there, I don't think there's going to be hundreds of them on eBay right away. Maybe they will be, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be tough to get even for the scalpers, because if it's all going to be through PlayStation Direct, actually, I don't know how sophisticated it is, but don't they have some sort of like preventative stuff in place to hopefully keep people?
Surely they would implement something to cancel orders that are going to the same address and things like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So even if some like scalpers do get them, or they have a way of getting a few of them, I can't see it being that rampant. If I see some picture on Twitter of somebody who has like 15 or 20 boxes of PS5 Pros, 30, I say we all. Never mind. I can't say that on the internet. Never mind. We wish them the best of luck.
Implied, Joe. It's implied.
Yeah. All right. Let's not get the stream taken down.
How's the game hunting in Australia?
It's interesting. I put a video out a couple of weeks ago, and it was probably the best I've had game hunting in a couple of years. But Yeah, it's definitely not like it used to be. It used to be, I would go out with 20, 30 bucks and I would come home with big piles of games every single weekend. And that hasn't happened for years. So
I
there's
feel you
more
on that.
people out there. There's less supply than there used to be.
It seems
The
like it really got
secondary
ate up
markets are blowing up.
starting in 2020,
Yeah.
which
Once
I'm not
2020
surprised
hit,
everybody's sitting at home wanting to relive nostalgia.
that wasn't just collectors. A lot of people started reselling, started flipping, and a lot of the stock is sitting in eBay's sellers'
On the chain.
houses, ready to be sold, or ready to be made money on. So there's not much profit on video games in Australia anymore. That's for sure.
So I think that we ain't seen nothing yet either. Like when people say, do you think like there'll be a crash? Do you think like games are going to go down? Do you think one day this stuff will all get cheap again? I do not think so. I think that the further we get pushed into the all digital market, just the crazier and crazier and crazier this stuff's going to get. I do. I think it's just going to go up and up and up and up. I don't think there'll be any cheap games in 20 years. I don't think any of them will be cheap. Like everything will be expensive. Then again, by then we'll be using like some sort of Bitcoin currency. It's inflated to like 56,000 point. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
My one counter to that, Joe, is I think a period from like 2010 to 2019, 2018, there was a lot of physical games out there. And a lot of those games are cheap. Like you can get a lot of the early PS4 release games super cheap. A lot of the later ones you can't. And the reason for that is they just don't make them anymore. Like the amount of sales of digital games is outdoing these physical games. So back in the day, they would, sell 2 million copies of a Call of Duty. That's 2 million physical copies on the streets being traded between. Now, if they sell 2 million copies, it's 1.9 million digital copies, 100,000 physical copies. The supply just isn't there to drive those prices down anymore. There's more people out there buying games.
Though. For PlayStation, I've heard that there's like it's like 60-40 physical to digital. The overall market is like 90-10 or something if you count Xbox.
Yeah, but okay,
everything, blah, blah, blah. But Sony actually
does that include Steam sales or something if they're doing the overall market? Because 60-40 to 90-10 is pretty crazy.
So the overall market, I think, I don't know about the 90-10 thing. There's clearly a huge, like the overall sales is way leaning towards digital over physical.
I reckon if we look at like modern titles like the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6, that comes out next month. I would love to see the figures on that digital versus physical, because I would be surprised if it's more than 10% physical.
Well, what the heck would you buy a physical game? So I don't want to. So what is a physical release anymore? To me, like if it's not like a complete playable game on the disc that you're getting, it's not even a physical release. So like if this new Call of Duty is going to be another 200 gig monstrosity,
well, it will be.
Yeah, of course it will be. There's only going to be like 5 gigs on the disc if you're lucky. There's nothing going to be on that disc. So why? I personally I don't see who that's for anymore. Like, why would you buy the physical? Like, who is this for? It's to me, that's like you're just like selling me the idea that I have a physical copy, but that I really don't. It's like that this is getting old. Like, I'm like,
well, you could still sell it while the game's popular and make a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
you're true. About
prior
that.
to the servers going down or anything, you could still sell it and make $70 if it's going for $100 or $50 in the US. Blah blah blah. Or if you buy the digital copy day one, a week later, you can't do anything with it unless you sell your PSN account, which is dodgy as fuck.
I would never do that.
But there are people that do that. That's the extreme people go to because they're that desperate to get money for their purchases these days.
I was gonna say that's how I feel about the pre-orders, pretty much paying for something that isn't fully ready yet. Like the one that stands out to me is the Fallout 76, how they had a bunch of debacles on that with the canvas bags and then leaking the data for people. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah. That was like a guy. I know what you mean, Mason. Like I've got a thing where I disagree with pre-orders, unless it's like there's 1,000 copies, blah blah blah. You got to pre-order it now and you miss out, and then there's sort of like a few exceptions, or the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, which I know is already expensive in the first release, I'd pre-order that because I don't want to miss out the second time.
I don't mind the pre-orders. Same with the one thing that I dislike about the digital, and like how back in the day you would like go to GameStop and there's a huge fat line and it was like a whole event going out till midnight to go pick up the new console or whatnot.
Launches and stuff. Yeah, I miss them.
Hey, Lisa. Yeah, she said about 12:30 for the PS5 Pro. I think you're right. Missed that earlier. Sorry.
But these days, it's just once the clock hits midnight, everyone gets to play.
Yeah.
I had some.
It's not as fun, but it's more convenient. I don't think we could go back into the older style because people would be like, why would I want to line up in public in the shopping center when I can do this at home on the couch?
I'm sure COVID probably changed some of that too. Probably
Yeah,
never
big
see those
time.
days again.
So I had a couple other stories I want to go over real quick. So there was an update on the Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition. I don't know if you guys remember I was talking about this, but I Am 8-Bit put out this Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition, and it was supposed to be Outer Wilds plus the DLC on the disc, and then somehow the PS5 version got printed without any of the DLC on the disc. It's just the regular game. So it's completely 100% defeated the purpose of what the release was supposed to be. And so they announced that they're reprinting it, and they said that the Archaeologist Edition for PS5 is now available for pre-order at their website. If you purchased the other copy and you just want the DLC, they are offering you a chance to get a free voucher to download the DLC, even if it's opened or whatever. So it says, we will continue offering the corrected physical version to other retailers in the future. If you already purchased a copy from a retailer, you have the option to either receive a DLC voucher to download it or return your copy to them.
So, Jay, let me get this right. There's a physical copy of Outer Wilds out there with the DLC that doesn't include the DLC.
Yes. It's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. So they had the regular release, obviously you could get, and then they came out with the Archaeologist Edition, which the whole point of it was includes the DLC.
New variant just got released, guys.
So if you are patient like me, so like you said, you shouldn't pre-order things. You should take your time. You should be patient. This is exactly a good reason why you should pre-order things. Now I could wait and get the good version if I wanted it. But I did want to just point out that I do think it's really cool that I Am 8-Bit's like trying to fix it. And they didn't just go, oh, well, like most places would do. They go, oh, well.
No, I just seen a post from Limited Run today, and they announced the game, and all the comments are like, why don't you wait for the DLC to come out?
Yeah. Well, everybody's sick of it. I'm glad people are. I'm honestly glad that people are starting to push back a little bit about that sort of thing, because the whole point of collecting things physically is they're supposed to work, dude. Like there's like that's why retro is the best forever. That's why when you said like what am I most excited to get? It's a PS1 game. You want to know why? Because it works and it's complete. And I don't need any, I could just put it in and I can play it, and there's no download, there's no update, none of that shit. All I get is the cool boot up screen, and then unfortunately some really slow load times. But other than that, we're having a good time, man. We're having a good time.
Even like Game Boy games, like they're 30 years old, the battery's gone, but all we have to do is replace them and they still work straight away. No patches, no internet needed.
Yeah. Instant fun. And no updated censorship either. No one's gonna go in 3 years after and be like, man, the bulge in Mega Man's pants is too bad, we gotta reduce it. Whatever the fuck they do these days.
I used to have an argument that I would say that would be like, well, at least today, like they can patch games and fix them, but after having a game reviewer on the show, we know for a fact that because of that, game reviewing isn't done.
They don't test it anymore.
They don't test games like they used to. They just put them out and fix them because they can put patches out. So it like completely defeats that purpose.
It's absolutely insane, man. Cheaters.
I was gonna say, speaking of limited run games, I was gonna bring that up too. What do you guys think about re-releases, effect on price, and like original titles long term? Are you picking any specific stuff up in the past, or
I've been inclined not to buy it because I already own most of this stuff.
fair enough?
Well, let's say if they re-release a PS1 game, I'm gonna buy it. But most of the stuff they're re-releasing is like PS4s, PS3 games. I have a full PS3 set. I don't need any of these games.
I'd like to see.
One that I love was Far Cry Blood Dragon. I love that game on PS3. I've got it on my Far Cry 3 copy. It's like a free download. It's already on my console. And like back in the day, it would have been $5 for me to get. I don't want to pay $50 for a physical copy. I already own this game. Like that, I can't justify that in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really want to see Snatcher remade for the Sega CD, but on a different format.
That'd be cool.
Game's expensive.
So that's ideally what I'd like to see most of those companies do, is bring over rare, obscure, expensive games and port them, to modern consoles. I like that. Like I like that they did the Tomba one. I hope they do
The Tomba was cool.
Tomba 1 and 2, or
cool.
Klonoa and things like that.
Yeah, I like that they did Klonoa and stuff. Yeah, I'm all about that. I like
Clock
that they did
Tower.
the Symphony of the Night, the Castlevania stuff. Those are all killer. So limited run games for people's valid criticisms for the stuff that they do. I think they have a lot of really solid releases, and I do think that they put out a lot of stuff that I'm very thankful to get. Like actually, I'm like so pleased. I'm like, if it wasn't for these guys, I don't think we would get this. Now at the same time, I also some of the stuff I'm like, well, I think Atlas would have been able to put out Persona. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
They are putting out Sonic or
Yeah, like some of the stuff I'm like, what the hell's going on? I don't get this. But I feel like down the road, these companies, stuff like that, they're going to be our only option for physical media. And that's what I think.
Yeah, I like a lot of those things I don't like. A lot of the stuff I do, and I buy the stuff I do. So I support what I like. I don't support what I don't like.
I was going to say, from working at a game and DVD store, it also reminds me of like the DVD market. A lot of those physicals have been going up a lot because they're not on like specific streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm. TV shows that are only on DVD that never got Blu-ray 4K releases and that are on streaming are insanely expensive.
Definitely.
My girlfriend watches a lot of obscure shows from the 90s and the 2000s. Some of them are really expensive to get them.
I still sell a lot of DVDs. I do really well selling DVDs. Like I sold a set of 5 this week for $90. I never even heard of them before. Just some old TV show,
Exactly.
Like $1 each in the op shop.
Like Mason said, if it's not available, then yeah, it is what it is. And that's why even so when people talk about the good old days of video game collecting, when they're like, oh, you remember back in the day you could go in for $20 and buy 300 PlayStation games and somebody that had no idea, blah blah blah. That's how DVD and Blu-rays and 4Ks and stuff are now. Collecting that stuff now,
1000% agree, especially at the Goodwills and stuff.
If you know what you're doing, and a lot of them aren't worth a lot, but some of them are, and these things will, I think, be worth more down the line. I do think in the future, once the only is streaming services, and everybody fights about the rights for this and the music to that, and this got taken down because of this. Or it's too offensive. I know that's going to be a never-ending thing where all these old shows, they're like, well, we can't put that on TV anymore, and if we do, we're going to have to edit it and change this, take that out, blah blah blah. So I'm just I can see the future being shit. So I've been buying tons of Blu-rays and 4Ks. I don't buy DVDs that much, but yeah, Blu-rays and 4Ks, I buy them anything I pretty much ever wanted to watch in my life. I'm getting them now. Because I think that down the road, it'll be a good investment. Same way down the line, they'll be worth a lot more, I think.
I agree. If I do DVDs, it's usually same thing, Blu-ray, 4K, and then I will do regular DVDs if it's old anime.
Yep. Oh yeah, anime. That's dude. Some of them are worth tons of money. It's funny too because it's they're cheap, and then the moment they're out of print and you can't get it, they go crazy.
Even the VHS market has been pretty interesting lately.
No, that's a big thing. Sealed VHSs and stuff go for a lot of money. And there's bangers, there's like rares and stuff that they're worth a lot of money. It's not a world I know a lot about, but I follow like a million. I'm into collecting anything. Like, I really am.
It's rare. I want it.
I'm members of all these groups on Facebook and all these things online that I don't even collect for it. I just like watching other people collect for it and seeing their collections and stuff. Like, I love horror movies, so I love watching people's horror collections. There's so many cool things out there. So I just find it fascinating.
I've been gravitating more towards like stuff that I think is intangible, where it's so specifically unique that it can't be replaced. Like, one that I picked up the other day was this Enslaved game, and it's
yeah, that's a good one.
It was $15, which is exactly how much the normal game is on price charting. And inside, it's got all these actors in it and stuff, and it's like all these signatures.
Let's go.
I thought was pretty neat.
That's insane.
It's a good game too, Enslaved, honestly, to the West.
I haven't played it. I really want to.
Isn't that the same story as Black Myth Wukong or whatever? Isn't it all Journey to the West? Isn't that all the same character?
Completely different game, though. Like,
well, obviously, I mean, but it's the same character. It's the Monkey King, right? Isn't it?
Oh, you know what?
I think it is.
I think you're actually, because it says Brutal Monkey. Play as Monkey, yeah. That's funny.
I think it is. And then there's another game called like something Monkey King on the PS4. It's Journey to the West.
Yeah, I know what I'm about.
It's one of their most like famous cultural stories in China or something.
It makes sense to redo it multiple times. And
yeah, it'd be
I still want to get Black Myth Wukong, and I'm like still waiting for a physical to be announced, and still waiting for a price drop on the digital, which doesn't usually happen. It's like the first game where I really want to play it, and it's digital only, and I'm like, I'll just keep waiting.
I don't want to play nothing until I get my PS5 Pro. I can't play nothing. If it's not at 120 FPS, can you even call it a game?
Oh my god!
I love people like that. I love people like that online. The same people have the most ridiculous takes about stuff online. I'm like, first of all, why are you so intense about these topics? Like, I don't even understand why this is like such a big deal to you. Like, oh, dare you enjoy 30 FPS games? That's no. Like, all right, I don't understand, man. Like,
there's a great video online from years ago for like the Grand Theft Auto release. And it's the San Andreas one, and the guy's like, the graphics look just like real life, and it's like trash polygons and stuff.
We've all been there.
Oh yeah. I can't tell you how many old games I've played, and I go back and I'm like, this looks entirely different. Look like HD as a kid.
This looks like real life, and that was 20 years ago, and it's just like these triangles and squares.
Oh yeah, I say to people all the time, like, you watch a PS1 cutscene now, and it's like it could be like the cringiest thing you've ever seen. But back in the day, I'm like, this is amazing.
Especially,
wow,
I was gonna say that the jump from like a lot of the PS1 games seem to not have like voiced lines. It would be like where you had to physically read. I think that was a big jump from PS2 for like immersion and stuff.
Well, when they first did that, they used to like give characters their own. It would either be a voice or they wouldn't be, and it would be weird how they do it. Like sometimes you just have this one character, it would just be this like one voice throughout the whole game, one dude reading the lines, or sometimes they like give your character a really good expression. And it wasn't until we get to like modern games where they have like actors doing the lines and everything.
So I have another thing I wanted to mention real quick. They re-release, or they have a new release of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. If you guys remember, I think I showed this off previously. I bought the PS5 copy, and like when I bought it, like they didn't advertise it, but on the PS5 copy, it says like once you get it, it's like internet required, download required, because it's not all on the disc, and like you can't even get through like the tutorial without doing the update on the PS5 version. It's total shit. But anyway, they did release this new version on PS4, and for some reason they decided the PS4 should get a better version. So this is it has 2 discs included in it, and does it play? They haven't given their final like review or whatever, but they said that it pretty much plays perfectly without any updates, and you can get through the tutorial. And it also runs at 60 FPS if anybody cares about that. So I just thought that
the
was
fact that they
fascinating.
included 2 just gives me so much confidence that it's probably going to all be on there.
Yeah, I agree, and I like the direction it's going. I'm amazed that like the PS5 would come out and then like all this time later that we would get a PS4 release with all the content on the disc. It's strange how they did that. They did the same thing for Mortal Kombat.
Anything makes sense anymore?
What's that?
Does anything make sense anymore?
No, dude.
I'm glad to see that they're finally doing some backwards compatibility on the newer systems. I think that was definitely needed in terms of like, seems like there's a new console every 3 to 4 years or a Pro Edition coming out, and not having them backwards compatible just doesn't seem to make sense, especially when if I'm spending like 400 or 500 on a console for 3 years later just to spend the same amount on the newer one. It's like I could just upgrade a PC and just keep doing it every 3 years. But with the backwards compatibility, I think it adds a lot of value to it.
But you still see the new Nintendo console being like its own format, and people rebuying all of the games they already own for the Switch.
What do you mean?
Like Nintendo, just because they've got such a big market and they control it themselves, I could see them not going with backwards compatible for a new console.
I could totally see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Sony, they're in a point now where they almost have to. Like if they brought out a PS6 tomorrow, for example, it would have to play PS4 and 5 games. I couldn't see them not doing it, especially the same format. You know, at least they can justify not playing PS3 games because the PS3 is so hard to develop for and was such an expensive console. They don't really have an excuse why it doesn't play PS1 and 2 games. So.
Absolutely, especially considering that the first gen PS3 was backwards compatible for that.
They could easily make the PS5 play PS1 games. PS2 would be a little bit harder, but PS1 they could easily do.
Why do you think PS2 would be harder?
Well, the initial PS3s had the PS2 backwards compatible, and they were really expensive. And then the second revision models, they took that away. They were a lot cheaper, but they could still play PS1 games.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So after the first gen, they can still play PS1s?
Sorry, Mason?
After the first gen, they can play PS1s?
Yeah, all models of PS3s play PS1 games, even the Super Slims, the Slims.
Very cool.
The best way to play PS1 games because you use the hard drive as a memory card.
Yeah.
And the loading speeds are all faster. And
you get a wireless controller.
PS1 game,
upscales to 720p. So yeah, it is. And it's HDMI out. It's definitely the best way to play PS1 games.
There's I'm trying to remember. I think it's Logitech. They made some wireless PS2 controllers back in the day that I picked up, and those are my favorite.
They're really cool. I've sold a few of them. They go for a fortune. Even just like the USBs are like $100 these days.
The Wavebirds, man, those have gone up in price too.
Yeah, whatever is the best controller for a system.
Yeah,
gamers will go for them.
I got 6 of them.
Strong.
Yeah, you're part of the reason. You're part of the reason they're expensive.
I knew that those would go up. I bought those when they were cheap, and I knew because I remember even back in the day, people like didn't know those existed. Like when people had GameCubes, like I don't feel like a lot of people even knew that wireless controllers were a thing, and I knew they were a thing. I made sure I got all those. They're so awesome, dude. I have one more thing I just wanted to go over real quick, which I think is kind of fascinating. Again, I don't know how to take this, but Voltaire on X shared this. He said, "Friends, please, this could be crippling. There's been a surge of PS1 counterfeits on the market coming from AliExpress. Counterfeit PS1 titles are being pressed onto a dark substrate, which makes these counterfeits visually indistinguishable from the real deal." So they're just he said there's a huge slew of fake games coming from AliExpress. And they look insanely real. And so if you like look at these pictures, like they black out where it says play. So it's just a station, but that does like it is there on the actual games. And yeah, just you may want to be careful out there if you start suddenly seeing real good deals on minty fresh copies of Kudelka, or you know what I'm saying? Like just be careful out there, folks. There's a lot of fakes coming in. This is the type of shit that really like sours collecting for me when I see stuff like that, because I like it. It's like, God, dude, I don't even know if I feel like risking it anymore. It's why I don't like getting into steelbooks. You've shown me so many.
Don't collect steelbooks today, guys.
It's
They're
just
half the rule.
they're
Fucking fake on eBay. eBay will not take any of the listings down. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's just there's so many fakes. It's like I'm not down unless you're like buying them from the original retailer, getting the pre-order bonuses. If you're collecting like that, that's fine. But trying to buy on the secondhand market, it's just.
I'm so glad that when I collected steelbooks, it was prior to fakes being out there. Like I'm now happy that some of my steelbooks aren't perfect condition because at least I know they're real. You know.
I didn't know the steelbooks were a large market for the fakes.
Yeah, so just there's a lot of websites out there that just fake expensive steelbooks, and like we use the Mirror's Edge steelbook on PS3, for example. There was a time where it was going for $1,000. It's not anymore, and there's a lot of fake copies out there. So the fakes have driven the price down because people that wanted it just bought the fake copy unaware, put it in their collection. Enough people have done it that it's just driven the price down. That's crazy. Joe is frozen. Have freaks. Hammer time.
Do you have any development kits or anything, or?
No, I don't have any dev kits. It's not really something I'm into. Like I've had the opportunity to buy them in the past, but it's like press kits. I've bought press kits and sold them. It's just not what I'm into. I just prefer collecting the standard games.
Yeah.
Same with like collector's editions. I used to buy the collector's editions. But after collecting for a decade, I found that I just prefer having the standard game on the wall, one copy. It takes up less room. I can build a bigger collection that way. What about yourself, man?
I've got one. I've got a PSP dev kit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I picked it up on Whatnot, I think for $400. Complete.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty strong.
I did love the dev kits. I would love to get a PS3 one if they were cheap. Cool. For the main reason is that they play PS1 and 2 games region free. Because the PS3s are region free, but not for PS1 and 2 games. But the dev kits are, which is super cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you can literally buy a PS3 dev kit and play Japanese, American, PAL, PS1, 2, and 3, and have like 10,000 games in your library. It's insane.
I'm not coding on it, Mike. I wish I knew how to. My buddy.
What about your collection, man? What's some of the highlights of your collection?
I pulled out just a couple like recent pickups that I could talk about, but most of them are out there. I got a lot of like boxed 64 games, NES games. One of a cool pickup that I picked up about 2 years ago at the Retro Game Expo. It's this signed Dreamcast by Sonic Team and Yuji Naka from 2001.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
And just kind of a cool little piece that probably wouldn't be ever made or found again for another one. I like stuff that's real obscure, like old promo hats. This is an E3, I think one of the first ones from like 99. I got Psychonauts tee and a bunch of other clothes that I'll collect. But
I don't wear any of my merchandise like that. I've got like one of the original launch employee PS3 hats, but it just sits in the cupboard collecting dust.
Most of mine sit. The times I do wear them is to like expos and stuff, just to be kind of festive. Another cool one that
on them, things like that.
I liked. This one came in the package. It's an NES lockout tool, but during shipping it came out, so this would go like underneath and it would go into the tray and then lock. So it's called homework first, and then the parent would have like the parental code.
That's actually hilarious. They would have sold that like a real. We need to convince people that video games like aren't taking over. So let's sell this lock, and that can be your homework lock. That's actually hilarious.
Exactly, yeah. Another cool one, and I hadn't seen very many of these. In fact, I only saw one online at eBay the first time I found it. It's a Sphere 360 controller. I couldn't find any used either. It was just
Sure.
brand new in the box. I've got 2 boxed, and I did eventually end up finding one unboxed, so I could
I've
actually.
only ever seen them loose before. That's awesome to see in the box.
Yeah, I wish they made old controllers like that still with like real packaging where it feels like you're actually getting a product and it's not just getting more and more expensive every year.
That box is huge. It's insane.
Yeah, it definitely takes up a lot of space.
I like some of the science stuff you got too. Science stuff's so interesting because you can't really put a price on it. It's sort of what
Exactly.
the market decides the prices
Yes.
in auctions and different things like that.
I like obscure stuff. Like I put a couple games up here just so it'd be in the background, but like Pepsi Man and stuff like that. Just kind of random
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Seaman's another one I really like for Dreamcast. Dreamcast was one that I played a lot growing up. A lot of like Sega Bass Fishing, Crazy Taxi. Same with PS2, like San Andreas. Trying to think of a couple other ones. Just nostalgic for me, so I tend to collect a lot of those.
I'm a San Andreas lover as well, as you can see.
Hell yeah.
It's like a massive canvas that someone sent to me. It's super cool. And that's actually my cover I took the photo for. So that's my copy's cover blown up onto a canvas.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's really cool. No, that era of gaming was super nostalgic for me as well. I like sort of stopped gaming like 2010 for a couple of years when I thought, oh, I'm too cool for this, and then got back into it for a few years. But like it was that San Andreas, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 type of era where I was just absolutely in love with video games. It was awesome. Not collecting, like just playing games.
I had recently, for probably about 6 months, stopped collecting, and I had been putting all my time into like Counter-Strike skins and collecting those, but just recently got back into collecting again and kind of building it up. I just have so much stuff, and it's way over encumbering.
I've spoken about CSGO skins on the show before. Like, there is a serious market behind CSGO skins. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm talking $1 million sales.
Oh yeah. There was, in fact, recently we had a AK-47 661 case hardened sell for like 1.2 million.
That's crazy. Did you see the major? It was one of the last majors, and they went to the crowd, and there was a dude opening slots in the crowd, and he got a knife.
Yeah, the cases, yeah. The cases are crazy. Awesome. When I first started playing, it was probably in like 2015, and there was maybe 2016, I think. Operation Hydrid came out, and the cases were like 3 cents each a pop, and $1,000 investment would be like 830 grand today.
There's the marketing, like there's people in China that have
huge
collections that are literally tens of millions of dollars in skins. It's hard to fathom this, but it is a serious market. China's the biggest in terms of like pushing for skins and stuff, but there's billionaires who do this. It's crazy.
I've always been into investing and finding certain markets and stuff, and the CS market reminds me a lot of like NFTs in terms of low supply, like sticker crafts. Some of them have like there's an iBuyPower I just bought the other day. It's a $3,000 sticker, but it's applied, and there's like 37 of them in the world with it. So if somebody wanted to get that, they'd either have to spend $3 grand to put another one on, or actually no, not even 3. It'd probably be a little more than that. And then make that craft or cash me out for it, which I think the uniqueness behind that is good for an investment in long term.
It's such an interesting thing because most people just have no idea of it. But like I brought this up 4 years ago and it's still not a thing. Why aren't video games NFTs? Why aren't your digital video games NFTs? Buy a
1000%.
PS5 game, you own it as an NFT, you can sell the NFT. Like, that makes sense to me.
1000%, especially being digital. If you could own the access for that digital code and then be able to sell it to somebody else and they can get those digital rights, I think that entirely makes sense to buy more games like that, and that I would be able to extract value back from it.
And then it makes a secondary marketplace. So it gives
Absolutely.
a value. It stops PlayStation, Nintendo, and Microsoft having a monopoly on everyone's prices, because the public should decide the price of games, not the companies. Like, let's look at physical games. It's decided by collectors and eBay and resellers.
I would assume that the way that they would do that is like Sony would probably on their store, they would have it where when you buy it, it would register and mint as an NFT. And then from there, any sales through that collection would probably get some kind of fee, like a 2% on all sales for
And Sony
digital.
would take that. Exactly.
Yep, and that'd be the incentive.
I think Steam will do this in the next couple of years, because the EU's taking them to court, and they're going to be forced to sell their like, you're going to be forced to, if you buy a game in Europe on Steam, you'll be allowed to sell it. They're enforcing that as a law, and it's going through court right now, and it's going to pass because the EU don't fuck around. And once it's passed through the EU, it'll go into America, it'll go into the rest of the world. And once Steam's done it, there'll be pressure on Nintendo and PlayStation to follow suit, but it'll take a long time.
I hope they do it. I'd cash out all my digital and go buy some physical.
Yeah, right.
I saw at my local game store where I just picked up this Enslaved the same day, same guy who actually traded it in. There was a Rule of Rose copy there. I think he wanted like $6.99 for it and had the registration card and all.
Well, speaking of Rule of Rose, we spoke about this 9 months ago, and someone on Twitter like blew it up, and now media companies are talking about it. UK copies of Rule of Rose. I bought mine like 5 months ago. Suddenly, like, the internet's talking about it. So the UK copy were originally banned. Not banned, but they were delisted from stores in the UK. So they were not allowed to sell them because of content in the game. People pre-ordered them. People who pre-ordered them still get their copies. However, all retail copies got sent back to the warehouse, which is 505 Games, which is located in Italy. Fast forward 20 years, looks like they've sold their stock, and the stock's being sold on eBay. And what's happened is that it's being sold for 350 euros a pop. And CEX in the UK were previously paying like $450 trade-in price for Rule of Rose. So what's happened in the UK is every CEX score has been flooded with copies from eBay. People are going on eBay, buying them for $350, taking them to CEX, selling them for $450, and that's like completely flooded the market. So now every CEX store in the UK has got 2 copies of Rule of Rose.
And they're see all that on the
real UK copies, sealed, or some stores are making people open them because CEX have a policy that they won't take sealed games. Some of them are sealed. They're real copies. These are just the copies that didn't get sold in the first place because they were pulled from Street Date. That's
fucking policy. We're not allowed to take sealed games. You have to open them. Okay.
My local EB game store do the same thing, Joe. And I spoke to the guy about it the other day, actually.
They make
an unrelated topic, and he told me that people traded in sealed Pokemon cards and they resealed them. And he had a customer like come in and say, "Hey, I bought these brand new and they're fake."
Yeah.
It was really embarrassing, and that one situation made EB Games stop taking any sealed. This is crazy because it wasn't a trade-in. Someone bought it brand new and returned it like an hour later, but it fucking resealed it. So that's one person ruins it for everyone, and like the game shop looks stupid because we won't buy sealed games, but it's because there's one incident made them look even more stupid, forcing them to do something else.
Yeah, everything in the world sucks because of some asshole. Just in case you.
It's like those sealed games you just showed. You know, what if one of those copies gets traded to a game shop and that goes into the hands of a collector. He makes a YouTube video about it and, you know, talk shit on this game shop. That game shop's going to look stupid, but they didn't know that there's fake copies of these games out there. You know, it's hard to know everything. You just have to have your due diligence about you, and you have to be so careful today.
You guys
want to get into some pickups? I got some cool stuff to show
Yes,
off.
let's take a gander. I was
Yeah,
gonna
man.
ask, do you guys update and keep do you do a price charting for your whole collection?
I don't use price charting because I'm in Australia. Price charting is really like a US based thing. But what I do for my collection is I do it all on Excel, and then I use eBay prices, and I put the average price in myself, and I update it yearly and different things like that.
It's a lot of work.
It is, yeah.
I don't do shit. I don't even know what my games are. I can't even tell you what I own. I buy the same thing 3 times. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've done that. That's why I started mine, so I could start seeing what I have and don't. There's been so much stuff I've bought and resold, and I'll think I still have it and get home after there's a good deal, and I'll be upset that I didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm always just bummed when I buy something and I'm like, yay, and then I go put it on the shelf and I'm like, oh, it's right there.
I never mind extra coffee.
I showed this off last week.
So sad.
Honestly, I don't do that anymore. My system works really well because I said I use Excel. I use Google Sheets, which I've got on the computer, but I've also got a copy on my phone. So every time I'm game shopping, I've got my list on my phone. I've also got it on the computer, and I just make sure whenever I buy games, they go on the desk and they're cataloged in, and they don't go on the shelf until I've put them in. And I've been doing this for years. I haven't bought a duplicate game that it wasn't intentional for a very long time.
I'm better about it now. Usually, if I'm not sure, I'll check. I'll be like, wait a minute, do I own this? And I can't tell you how many times I've done that, and I'm like, yes, I do. I'm so glad I checked. It's amazing. Or sometimes what'll happen is like there'll be a game that I'm like watching. I'm like, oh, I gotta wait for that to be a good price, and I'll be putting away other games, and then I'll see that game. I'm like, wait, I bought that already like 3 months ago. Shit, I gotta take that off the list. I already own that motherfucker.
And you're like searching for it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right, so you guys, I told you I've been I'm into like a lot of racing games lately, especially like old PS2 stuff. So I picked up Ridge Racer 5, the old PS2.
That's what I'm wanting to get.
Yeah,
those racer games are good.
They're really fun, and yeah, you know, it's got cool, you know, hot babes from the PS2 era, leather pants, halter tops, you know, the good stuff. Cool soundtracks. It's made by Namco. You know, it's a good game. This is when the series started to get better, I think. The original Ridge Racers, it's fun, but it's kind of a campy arcade game. I feel like PS2 is when it actually got really good, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's a good one. I still love. I just really like collecting the racing games because they're not insanely expensive, and I actually really like them. So
I was gonna say, I just picked up a PS2 game that's racing, and in fact, I didn't even know it existed. It's called Sonic Rider Zero Gravity.
Yeah, I have that as well. That's like
have you played it?
I have. I have it right over there. That's so funny. I got it recently in like a trade. It's not bad. It's like you like ride like bikes, I think, like motorcycles or some shit like that, or something like that.
Is it very similar to like the Crash Nitro Kart? That's what it looked like to me.
I don't think the controls were the same. It wasn't like when I played it, if I remember, like you're not in carts. I think you're riding like hovercraft or some shit like that.
Yes, yeah, that's what it looked like.
Some sort of like weird thing. I remember it was a little different. I only played it for like 15 minutes or something, and I thought the controls were a little awkward, so I put it down. But that's how every racing game starts. Every single racing game, I'm like, the controls are awkward because I have a crappy car and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm terrible. But then like a day later, I'm like, oh, okay, now I know how to play.
Especially some of the old PS2 games. They can definitely have some clunky controls.
Oh, yeah. Try the PS1 ones. Like I went back and really delved in. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but in the PS1, if you like, you're counting like Asia and Europe and everything, like just racing games, there's like over 400 racing games in the PS1, just on the PS1. Like that's like more than the entire N64 fucking library altogether. Like just racing games on the PS1. And so I went through a bunch, and like there's some good ones, and there's a lot just like that are really awkward and weird.
Is this including PAL as well, or is this just North America?
No, that's including everywhere. It's a
I was gonna
400.
say, dude, there's like at least 150 PAL exclusive racing games.
There's so many, dude. It's
Every time I buy PS1 games, I come home with like 5 new racing games I've never heard of.
it's awesome. There's so many good ones.
There's a few bad ones though.
And so this one right here, like I thought to myself, you know, I own this on the PS3, and I really can't justify buying it again. But only a loser wouldn't buy it again, so I bought it.
That's the one game I had a bitch about. Well, look, for me, if it was, I just don't pay $50 for it.
I know,
I'd pay $30.
about it, and I'm just looking over. I'm like, yeah, well, screw you. I bought it, bitch.
And I love the game. Like, I used to say that's my favorite Far Cry game. I actually love this game, but I don't want to pay full price for it.
So I think this is the only actual physical release of it, though. Even on the PS3, isn't it a digital download? It's not.
Yeah. So hang on, I want to talk about that for a second. So it's a digital download, but it's a reusable code. And back in the day, in the PlayStation 3 collectors group, I shared the code, and like 15 people all downloaded it.
A reusable code. That's bizarre.
How cool is that, man? Like,
That's pretty neat.
well, people can share it. Like, you know, so for me, that is not a $50 fucking game. I used to give that shit away free.
That's hilarious. So I mean, I get where you're coming from. So I picked this up from Super Rare on the Switch, but they limited run games did the PS4 release. And like I said, I'm a weirdo and I buy both. So I picked up Nightmare Reaper for the PS4. This game is really cool. It's like an FPS with like RPG elements, and it's like horror themed.
That's cool.
Kind of like a boomer shooter, like a Doom type shit, I would say. Check it out. Watch some videos online. This game just looks really cool. Like I love everything about the graphic style for this game. It's called Nightmare Reaper. I don't know if the PS4 copy is going to be super expensive, but I think the Switch one's already really expensive. Like it's pretty sought after game from the Switch because it only came out on from like I said from Super Rare, and then maybe they did a PS5 copy from Limited Run too. I'm not sure. Maybe another game I got from Limited Run Games that I'm actually really excited to play. Figsy, you'll probably like this one too. I don't know if you heard. Have you heard of Grounded?
I have. Is that the one where you like ants and yeah, it looks really cool.
I didn't realize
that
that
it
was
got a
made by
PlayStation
Obsidian.
release.
What was that, Mason?
I
Sorry.
didn't realize that was made by Obsidian.
Yeah, it's my PS5 Xbox Game Studios game.
I know it looks weird seeing the Xbox.
Isn't that fucking? It is weird, dude.
Did you ever read into the Obsidian debacle with Todd Howard for Bethesda when they had released Fallout New Vegas and the 84 for Metacritic?
Mm-mm.
They were
Isn't
they
It
were
was like the
supposed.
highest rated Fallout game, right, or something like that. Then they make them mad or some shit like that.
I don't think it's the highest, but they were gonna get a bonus if it had hit 85 or plus on Metacritic, and it hit an 84. And I swear Todd definitely paid him off.
You think they'd like to keep it under?
Yeah,
What a
Which is funny because it's his own studio. Imagine
Yeah.
paying to get your own game a down vote.
I really want to play Grounded. It looks like a great game.
yeah. So it's a survival game, and then it's like kind of like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids vibe
I love that
going
movie.
on. I've heard nothing but really good things about it. I think Dan from JRPG Life said that he was playing this game.
I must have missed this because I would have bought that. I didn't realize Limited Run did it.
Yeah.
Was it how long ago did you pre-order that one?
God, 6-8 months, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that was why. When I was
Yeah,
selling my
I don't think
house,
you-
I didn't have money to buy games. I was just ignoring everything because
I
I
think
didn't
that's
want to
what
be
it was.
disappointed.
You didn't buy any games during that time, so
I didn't have the money to. I was putting everything into getting my house ready, and I missed out on a lot of stuff. And a few things I was able to re-get. Like I still missed out on the Personas, but thankfully Joe got me the foil variants instead.
oh yeah.
There you go.
Have you heard of Hypercharge Unboxed?
Ooh, no.
It's like COD, but you're in this toy store and you're an action figure. It reminded me a lot of Grounded.
I think I've
Probably a
heard of
similar
that
game
game.
you'd like.
Yeah, I think I've heard. What system was that on?
Steam.
Oh, okay. It's like a new game. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I like that theme. I also used to love the Army Men games.
Oh yeah, like Sarge's
Yeah,
Sarge's
that's so
Heroes.
good.
It's an
I
awesome game.
loved those games.
Can you believe there's 9 Army Men games on PS1?
I had no idea there were so many. I thought yeah, it's insane. That's too many.
But the joke is, there's like the Lego of the PS1.
I was
The
gonna
Lego
say
game.
a similar game that I had found through Reggie was Toy Commander for Dreamcast.
Mm.
It's very similar to the Sarge's
I think
Heroes.
they got a PS2 release as well. That sounds familiar.
Do they?
I need to watch some more Dreamcast videos. Like I got this little bad boy, this RG Cube thing, and I
Nice.
love it to death. It's so freaking amazing, and it plays Dreamcast absolutely flawlessly. Except for like 1 or 2 games I've tried that didn't work very well, but like everything else is so good. So I need to like go and get some more recommendations on Dreamcast games. GameCube too. Like I know a little bit about a GameCube, but I don't know enough. And then here's my last pickup. I got Redellum.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You didn't get the cursed version, the graded copies.
No. I ordered 3 copies, and I got 3 of these. I didn't get. I wasn't lucky enough to get.
I was thinking about that, Joe. I was thinking maybe you should have ordered 1 and done 3 orders, and you would have had a better chance of getting it.
Do you think so?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm afraid they're going to sell out too fast. So I don't, and their website, literally,
and the shipping's ridiculous. So
it was $18 to get the 3 games shipped. Fucking stupid.
Would have cost them like $5, and they would have been like, "Oh, we're making $20 off, or $12 off every person who's paid just in shipping alone."
But I sent my other copy to you, and I sent one to Reggie, so they're already gone.
Let's go, baby. So we'll find out if we got a graded one soon.
No, you didn't. You got in this motherfucker. I do like the spine.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, that is really cool.
Super,
I love that.
The red and the blue. It pops. It'll like.
Yeah, I love red PS4 spines. I mean, they look great.
Yeah. So
Not the greatest hits ones, but just generally red ones.
Yeah, definitely cool. That's it. That's all I got. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, let's go.
Nope.
I guess some cool stuff. So first little lot aren't really cool games. I just got these really cheap. They were $4 or $9. Don't say no to that price. GameStop's. Our first one's called Talisman Digital Edition. This is the physical edition of the digital edition.
I've never
It does come
ever
with like
seen that game before.
postcards. It looks cool. It's got
Amazing.
artwork that I kind of like. I think it's like a turn-based kind of game, which if it's an RPG, I'll give it a go at some point. Includes all the
Is it like
DLC.
cards? Is it like a card game?
Yeah. It kind of looks like a card game, tabletop game.
That's cool.
Looks kind of cool.
I just am always blown away when I see any PS4 game that I'm like, I've never even seen that before. How many? There's so many games.
I'm not anymore. I've passed that point, and I'm just used to it.
It's never ends.
Great. Next one. This was $4, I think, which is an absolute no-brainer for a steelbook. Flashback 2 limited edition. It's got the tape on it, so I'm not going to pull it out. But it's got a nice steelbook in there as well.
I like to pick that up. The collector's edition's been on sale on Woot. I don't know. So
it's like a 2D side-scrolling type thing. I mean, I wouldn't have picked it up unless it was so cheap.
Well, the original Flashback is like it's a classic game, and it kind of reminds me of like almost like Prince of Persia controls. It's got like super fluid controls, but they're kind of hard. So I'm wondering how true to the original that sequel is, because if they made it like the original Flashback, I guarantee you that modern day people were like, "What the fuck?" Because it's hard to control, you know. So It's very like deliberate. You have to like you can't like just wing it. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I said I don't collect PS5 games, and I'm about to show my second in a row. Here we have Trek to Yomi.
Nice.
This looks really cool, like a black and white samurai game. It was cheap. I think it was $12 or something. I'm like, definitely that's a price that I want to pay for a game. Like my whole thing of PS5 collecting is I wasn't doing it until I seen prices that appealed to me. But yeah, cheap games. I like cheap games. So, and the next one was $7, and the only copy in the store had a big rip on the cover. But I went up and asked, and they had another copy at the back, which was brand new. The game inside's not sealed, but it's basically like brand new. And it's 2 Point Campus. It's actually something I want to play, which is pretty
Super
cool.
fun.
The Enrolled edition. I like games like this. That whole like theme park.
I have that. Me and my girlfriend played that, and we played 2 Point Hospital. Those are super fun games.
Yeah, I want to give it a go. Yeah, I've heard it was good. Joe says it's good, so I'll definitely play this one. Nice big box, but it still fits in the shelf, which is an important thing for me. I don't want to get games that don't fit in my shelf and I have to put them in another room or something. Next we move on to
another PS5
Pokemon. Sorry, Joe.
That game, like we had it on the Switch, and it chugs like that game. Like once you have like a huge school, it does not well. So the PS5 version is definitely the one to get. And like I honestly like the PS5 Pro would actually probably be helpful for that game because it needs it. Yeah, because once you start building a huge map, it's like it's just chugs.
Makes sense, and I like to get to that point in those games. Like if I get into it, I'm putting 100 hours in.
Hell yeah!
All right, these next two, I was initially told not to buy these because I wasn't aware that all the DLC was on the cart. I thought it was a download code. I'm talking about Pokemon Scarlet and the Treasures of Area Zero and Violet. However, I'm pleasantly surprised that the DLC is actually on the cart. It does include a download code for Pokemon Balls, but that's not the DLC. But the DLC is on the cart. So, hang on. Half the DLC is included on the cart, and then the other half isn't a download code, but once you install it, it will allow you to download the other half. And then there's a third DLC that's not included that was a timed event, which is we've passed the timed event, so you can't even play that if you wanted to. So basically, you get all the DLC if you've got this. Half of the DLC is on the cart. The other half is download once it's installed. So it's not like a download code or anything, which is kind of cool. I don't know if it's reusable. I don't know how that works. I assume it's probably one-time thing. But I would recommend picking these up because the Sword and Shield DLC packs going for like $200 for the physical copies. It's Pokemon. These got a pretty low release, especially in Australia. Like I really, really struggled to find these. So I would pick them up.
That's cool.
Next, I got some pretty cool eBay purchases. I think I did well on these ones. They were both, when you're scrolling eBay by like new listings and you see something, you're like, that's too cheap. I'm going to buy it instantly. And there's already like 10 people watching it.
Yeah.
So here we have Learn with Pokemon Typing Adventure. This complete usually goes to $300 to $400, right? Complete, open, blah, blah, blah. I got this for $290 and it's sealed. Like
nice.
It's got the seals on both ends. Factory sealed. The box is in pretty good condition, except you can't even see in the camera. It's not 100% there. But like it's 9 out of 10 box. It's factory sealed, Australian fucking PAL, like absolutely insane.
Oh, and now you could finally learn how to type, dude.
I can type. Thankfully, it does fit in my glass case, just so it's just gonna live in the glass place like that. And now the next purchase, I think I did pretty well on. So it's not complete, right? It's missing a console. It's just an empty box. I'll show you guys and then talk about it. So here we have the Pokemon Xerus and Urival Blue Nintendo 3DS XL. I haven't got the console itself. Console sells for about $300 to $400. I'm watching a couple right now. I'm going to try and buy one for around $300. complete. This goes for about $800. I got this box for $90. I think I'm doing really well. It's like absolutely minty condition. All the inserts are inside. All the paperwork's inside.
Nice.
Just have to get the console now. I'll complete this thing for less than $450. It's like a $700 console.
I can't even.
When they're on eBay, there's none on there. All the ones on eBay are soft listings. So I think I did really well.
Yeah, you did. $9.
Yeah, and there was like 10 people watching it. It was an auction, but it had offers. So I'm like, I'll just throw a cheeky $90 offer. They accepted it right away. New eBay seller. I'm like, yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
3DS
that was 2 weeks worth of pickups. So yeah, some cool stuff.
3DSs are absolutely insane. How much?
Well, that's the best 3DS to own. I'm like, why is this thing so expensive? Oh, it's the 3DS XL. Like, it is the best console. So I do kind of want one plus to complete that. I'll happily pay for it. I'm just waiting to get a good price one.
I want the Metroid one. I want the Yoshi one. I want the Pikachu one. Oh man, there's so many I want.
Problem is, there's a second one that goes with this that's red. Now I need the other one. It's like $1,000.
There's a red one, right?
Yeah.
I've seen those. I've never seen them with the box and everything complete though. They're always loose.
Yeah, you're looking at like $1,000 complete console. It's crazy.
What you got for us, Mason?
I'll pull it on out. I got
It's like I got this red
these are like-
Pokemon console. Hell yeah, bitches in your face.
I wish.
And here's the one that Figsy was missing.
Yeah.
I'd picked up a few of these. They're like the promotional
nice.
ones when they first came out. I have 3 of them total.
That's cool.
And I just went to like pretty much every Fred Meyer's in my area and kept asking if they would let me have it when they threw it out, and they said yeah. So I eventually finally got it.
Nice.
At the last Portland Retro Game Expo, I had picked this up, which was a complete survival edition for Fallout 3. It's got the clock in there for the Pip-Boy and everything else. And I paid $100 for it. It goes for about $600 on price charting.
Nice.
And
it's so weird seeing the 4 windows.
Yeah.
Like it's before that like whole Steam gaming thing, and it's like, let's put it on PC, so let's put 4 windows.
Fallout is one of my absolute favorite games, especially 3 in New Vegas. And after I had bought that, I was telling my girlfriend how good of a deal it was, and we were walking around, and we came back to his little booth, and he had another one out, but this time it was the New Vegas one. And I think I ended up getting this one for $40, and I think the price is about like $250, and I ended up seeing another person there selling the exact same one for that price.
I've been trying to get that for PS3 for years, but at this point I've kind of just given up. I got the lunchbox for the Fallout 3 Collector's Edition, which I highly recommend getting. It's beautiful. It's like a full lunchbox size Collector's Edition.
I've got that one too. That's the original one I had got. My dad actually found it for me at Goodwill and bought it and surprised me when he got home.
I bet there would have been people back in the day who used that lunchbox to take to school.
I would have. I'd say one of maybe like the last ones that I have. There's another game for PS1 that I didn't know was made for that system. In fact, I found it out years ago from when I had worked at the game store, and I saw it on Sega Saturn. It was Warcraft Dark Saga. I do have the PS1 version, but they also had StarCraft 64.
Nice.
Which I thought was pretty neat, especially for the 64 console.
That's like a $500 game over here. It's crazy. It's just loose.
It's the rarest Australian game, isn't it? Isn't it the rarest?
Well, we had Snowboard Kids 2, which was I only sold it, video shops and blah blah blah. But it's like up there in.
I never was big into StarCraft. I played a lot of Warcraft 2 growing up.
Dude, Warcraft 2 is amazing.
So good.
Frozen Throne. I can't imagine possibly playing StarCraft with an N64 controller. That sounds like an actual painful experience. Like that sounds really terrible. Like maybe I'm wrong and it's awesome and they have it. Like, it all worked out, but dude, StarCraft.
Sure, I loved Civilization on the PS3. How weird does that sound?
I mean, I could, yeah, but that's not.
It wasn't
StarCraft
easy
is
to
all-
control. Like looking back now, I don't know how I loved it, but I did.
Have you ever seen like pro players play StarCraft? Like it's all about actions per minute, and like they're going like these guys are doing like 100 things a minute. They're like,
I can't
going
imagine
into-
it.
imagine it with an N64 controller trying to do that shit. Being like, I don't know. I just think I don't know. See, Dark Vader's here. He says StarCraft 64 works surprisingly well. on the
Yeah,
PC.
it's one of the better games. Like it's one of the games that people say is
I
one of
might
the
have
better
to
games
try
to
it.
play.
Maybe I have to. Maybe I'll eat my own foot. Maybe it's amazing, but it sounds not amazing. it just doesn't sound. It's not good.
Have you ever played Wacky Racers?
Yeah,
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 actually, that's a good one.
There's a couple of
Play that
them. They
too.
made sequels on PS2 as well.
I want to get the sequels. I played PC way back in the day.
I like that game. I've been playing a lot of weird racing games too. You know what game I've been liking lately? There's the Cartoon Network PS2 racing game with like Johnny Bravo. Oh
Yeah.
Like,
John Bravo.
Johnny Bravo, Ed and Eddie.
I got the PS3 one. Not the sorry, the PS3 one's like an all-star battle royale, I think.
I don't know. I haven't played that. I just played the racing game on the PS2 and I've been having a blast. There's so many like cool little racing games, like little one-off games and stuff like that. I like
Or just kart racing. Like remember the Muppets on the PS1?
Oh yeah, lots tons of cool Looney Tunes ones and it's all sorts of
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah.
There's so many just like fake Mario Karts that's just amazing games. It's just such a simple concept that works. Like even Crash Team Racing is amazing, you know.
It's a great.
Oh
one.
yeah. Well, gentlemen,
Question for you, Joe.
Mhm.
You had mentioned that you had 6 Wavebird controllers. Do you have the? It's the Nintendo exclusive one. If you were a member.
I don't think
No?
so. No.
Okay.
No. I have 4 of the silvers and then
Mm-hmm.
2 of they're like white.
Yeah.
I have those 2. And so like because I originally had like I had a mix and match, and then I have OCD and I was like, no, I must have all 4 silver. So
I'd like to pick up a Panasonic Q.
no, those are
Yeah,
way
they're
too
cool.
Those are
expensive.
so neat.
Yeah, they're very pretty, but I don't know. Like GameCube, I struggle with collecting for that because
I'm not interested in it. Like when I say I'm going for all the Pokemon games, I'm excluding N64 and GameCube because I didn't own those systems as a kid. For me, I don't like the controller schemes. I've got no nostalgic for them, and they're
I like the
extremely expensive. So I'm
GameCube
not going to put a
controller.
lot of money into something that I'm not into.
I just like for me, it's just not. I don't know. This is where I need more recommendations because like a lot of the games came out on multiple systems. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not recollecting them again. You know what I mean?
And they're more expensive. So you're like, why would I rebuy this game that I already own that's 4 times the price?
It's weird though. Like, I mean, I really feel like the PS2 and a lot of times is the worst version of the games for back in that generation compared to the GameCube or the Xbox or even stuff that came out on the Dreamcast. But like, I still collect the PS2. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. But that's still what I still gravitate towards those versions because I don't know. It's just what I don't know. I like having a uniform collection, and like I don't want to like have 6 Xbox games, 20 GameCube games, 15 PlayStation 2 games. I don't like. I would rather just have my PlayStation 2 games. I don't know. Again,
Mason, where can everyone find you on social media, man?
On social, for Instagram, you could find me at just Mason Mahar, and then YouTube Swangs, SWANGZ, and then same for Twitch. I think Twitch is just 2 Z's.
So leave all the links in the description. You guys can give
I got
Mason follow.
Instagram. I didn't know about the Swangs name, so I didn't know that.
No worries.
That's news to me.
I saw the title was Mason, so I just went with my name instead of Swangs. I was going to change it to that, but
figured.
figured
You gotta tell me these things,
keep it
Figsy.
the
His
same.
name's Swangs. He has an alter ego.
I didn't know that either. So
That's fair. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, real pleasure
it was
meeting you
wild.
folks.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Oh, we have an announcement. We will have a special show on Sunday, guys. The
We should announce that.
European show this week. 3 days time. We will be getting back. Regular has been on every single season. Won't spoil it, but if you've watched the show, you can probably work out who it's going to be.
It's Jesus.
It should be a lot of fun.
It's coming back. No. Anyway, yeah, that'll be Sunday. Are we doing it at an early time? We're doing it at European time?
Chelsea aren't playing Sunday, so I can do it at any time, whatever time works. We'll work that out and we'll announce it like a day before the show. So stay tuned. Follow Joe on Twitter. That's usually where the announcements go.
Yep. Follow me on Twitter. Yeah, Joe Rad 18.
It sounds like a porn platform to me. I got a new video dropping on X tonight. It's hot.
Do you know what my porn name would be if I was a porn star?
Joe Rad.
No. This is what I'd go with. I would wear a cowboy hat, and I'd call myself Girth Brooks. Like that.
You thought about this before.
This is really what I would do. All right, this is a really awkward way to end the show.
All right, see you guys on Sunday.
Have a nice night, everybody.
Take it easy.
That's so fucking weird, dude. Oh no, it's the button. All right, good night, everybody.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to Gams, only got the fans. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you victory.